we go. I wasn't sure if I was going to have a stream today, but I just kind of figured why the heck not, and just kind of went with it. Today's kind of a, I guess, nicer one, because, like, I get to draw all the dum-dums in different poses, but, yeah. How are you guys? Oh, hi, Pax! Hey, Nathan, over on YouTube, welcome in. Yeah, it is hot outside, but luckily my AC is fixed, so it's not as hot as it was last Tuesday when I was streaming. So, yay! I like that my sketches, like, are always, like, so off model, and then I clean everything up. And whenever I do lining. And I have to, like, it always bothers me because I look at my sketches and I go, that doesn't look like them. And I have to, like, always remind myself that I have to go in there and adjust things and clean things. That's the process of sketching. So, it doesn't mean I have to like it. But how is everyone today? How is our week going so far? It's only day 2 of the week. Hopefully everyone's having, you know, a good time, or at least a decent week. That's all you can ask for sometimes. One sec, I think I forgot to hit one last notification. So I can say, I did my part, right? Okie dokie, there we go. Oh, let's see. Nathan over on YouTube says, I should not be awake at this hour. I was gonna go to sleep and then I saw you were streaming and gave in. It's 1:54. No! Go to sleep. There's gonna be a VOD. It'll be fine. You can watch the VOD or, like, catch us on Sundays when you're actually awake. Please, like, I don't want to keep you up for like an hour and a half. Like, sleep is important, especially if you have to go to work. I am so sorry to be keeping you up. You're mopping the floors. Hold on. All right. I think you can use Sai as a mop. You just kind of like switch him around. Alrighty, Nathan over on YouTube. What questions do you have? I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability, and if I can't, I will say redacted for many, many reasons, including I just don't feel like answering it. But please, ask questions. Everyone's welcome to ask me questions about my process, my characters, I guess, me, or tell me stuff about you guys and your characters and such. I love hearing it. Keeps me entertained. Unamused child is unamused. Kind of like the rough ones I did that just quick layouts better. Oh, come on. Do-do-do. No, don't use Sai. Why not? He's got fluffy hair, and Rufus is a little too big to, like, flip around and try using. He'd be a little too heavy. So I am creating some assets for like the different web pages, so the characters kind of do something different on each page you go to. It was very much suggested by All Ages of Geeks, since they are the ones kind of putting it all together. I'm just making the assets for them. So yeah, no Sias, tee. Nathan over on YouTube says, okay, so I saw you once said Sai is a Romeo, I think. What did you mean by that? Because honestly, he doesn't look like the type of guy to be big on romance. When I mean by Romeo, I mean he is a ladies' man. He's a ladies' killer, womanizer, all those different terms. Romeo is just more of the romantic term because he is very flirtatious. But a lot of the girls, while he does like a lot of the girls that he does date, he doesn't exactly have a connection to them because he's actually in love with Rin. He is in love with her and he can't get over her, but he can't have her. So it's kind of a juxtaposition for him. So, he doesn't mind the romantic gestures and everything. He just kind of changes his dating style depending on what kind of girl he is dating, and what their interests are at that moment. But yeah, Rin is one of the few, if only... Like, again, he's close to some of the girls he dates, but Rin is the one that has really just kind of enamored him. Now, Mukta acts romantic, but he doesn't enjoy being romantic. But he does it because it is the social norm in courtship. I always love Rufus giving big old group hugs that are not exactly always wanted, but I miss the Christmas hug that he gave like so long ago in the Christmas comic. So I was like, oh, that would be a fun one to kind of bring back. What does it have to do with the About Us page? I don't know. I just thought it was cute. So, Rufus loves his friends. Like, Rufus is so easy to draw now because I had to do like 105 pages of him. He's very easy to get down now. It's one of those you don't have to think too much, but then again, his outfit I'll have to think on because I haven't drawn his outfit that much. No, he doesn't have that. He doesn't have that. See? I'm going off of the comic where he has that little droplet of hair because his hair is a different style. So I gotta like be careful on that. Okay, Nathan over on YouTube says, random scenario, Rufus finds a human toddler in a trash. We know he'll take him. How'd the others react? Points at Yuji, human toddler that he found in the trash. Sai doesn't want any more people in his apartment, and Yoko doesn't want to take care of said child. Again, it is literally just the scenario you just described is Rufus taking Yuji and off the streets and being like, she's sleeping in the cold, she needs to stay with us, and Sai's like, throw her back out there, we don't take feral creatures. Pax says, over on Twitch, by the way, I picked up a job at a salon on Sundays. I almost read that as saloon. I was gonna be like, where'd you go to a saloon? But that's still awesome. So for those streams, I'll probably be able to drop in for a bit, depending on how much work I got. But for Tuesdays, I'll be here for sure. Hey, you know, get that money, get that bank, and there's always the VODs. Please don't get yourself in trouble by watching my stream at work. Please, 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 if you're allowed to kind of like listen to your phone and everything, cool, but please do not risk it. This show is not worth risking a job, especially in this day and age. But congratulations on the job. Fluffy says, wow, who left this perfectly good teenager lying around? Sigh, I'm not running a charity case. Yeah, says the man who's living off of a charity case. Poor Candy. Pax says, oh no, I won't get in trouble. It's just me in the building, actually. Oh yeah, cool. Well then, cool. Go for it. But like, again, I just don't want you getting in trouble for it, right? I used to have a job to where, it was a cubicle job. And so, like, they would walk up and down the aisles looking into your cubicles to make sure you're not on any other website, make sure you're not on your phones. And I would have my phone just kind of propped to the side playing, like, TV shows, but I wasn't watching the TV shows. I was just listening because I have to have kind of that audio. And they started, like, threatening to be like, well, we could just tell you just to take away your headphones. And I'm like, that's not gonna work well. I'm glad to be out of that job. Welcome in, Rhea, over on YouTube. Nathan over on YouTube says, I showed my friend the Christmas special and he hates Yoko. Plus, he's probably terrified. Oh, it's a shame he hates Yoko. She's a fun one, but I get it. Yoko's probably not for everybody. Who hates Yoko? Hiss, says Pax over on Twitch. Down, down. It's okay. It's okay. We know they're in the wrong. Flaffy says, thankfully my manager knows I do my work, so if I can hear others and I'm not distracted, I'm good. I usually just put you in my pocket and talk on the down times. Understandable. I think that's kind of the way to do it, right? I don't want to be like that whole distracting thing of, you know, the potential of getting you fired, but like, yeah, if you could just listen, cool, go for it. Yoko is life. Yoko is love. Rhea, I love Yoko. Yeah. Your friend is just wrong, but that's okay. It's okay to be wrong. Probably have to have like more muscle there, and so I'll just adjust his arm. Nathan says, he literally said, what program does she run on so I can hack her and leave a Trojan? Oh, trust me, lots of people have already... Nope, cannot make that joke. Cannot make that joke on stream, Jax. That is a bad joke, Jax. Do not. Ooh, I was not gonna say anything. Nope, I'm deleting that program, deleting that from... You guys heard nothing. I rebooted. They're just a hater, grumpy bunny. Yeah, Yuji is a grumpy little bunny. I get some people that like kind of ask like why I associate Yuji with a bunny, and because you know of her father, and everybody's like, oh, I see her like him like a panther or an eagle or something. I'm like, I do see that, but like I think it's also interesting because if you look at like hares, they got like really gaunt faces. They're kind of large bunnies, and they can like snap other animals' necks. They are known to do that. And I'm like, huh, that sounds like Vlad. And the idea of Yuji being like a bunny, it's kind of really funny to that too. But also it does play into themes in the story. So yeah. I didn't say anything. I rebooted, okay? Like, I said nothing. I hard rebooted before I said anything. You have no proof. You have no proof. Hi, Golden. Welcome in. You can't see it, but I'm glaring at you. I know what you said. I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. You dirty mind. Okay, look. What is the acronym of the Heroes of Tomorrow, guys? I'm just saying. What is the acronym? It's gonna be... Yeah, there's gonna be parts like that. Like, come on. What's happening? What did I miss? I forgot I have sarcastic comeback mode on, and I started saying something a little bit probably too raunchy for Twitch and YouTube, and I stopped myself mid-sentence. So that's what happened. I need to be better about that. You do not have proof. You do not have proof. You lie. You do not have proof. Lies. Don't worry, I finished your thought in my head. Man, I'm trying, guys. I'm trying, okay? I'm trying to be good. It's hard. This is adults, man. This is why it's for adults. Anyways, that guy is like those vicious hares, jackrabbits. Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty much kind of the thing that I kind of like settled on, because everybody kept being like, well, I don't see him as a rabbit, but like hares are pretty scary. That's why like my haunt sona, I made a hare, a were-hare, but I made a hare because like they are like, they can kill. They are like fighting machines. And I was like, that'd be really interesting, is you do something like that for Vlad, but he would be like one of those massive ones. But yeah, but again, it kind of goes with the theme for Yuji to be kind of considered a bunny, just kind of underestimated, because again, she is a child, she is a girl. Let's see. More like the of tomorrow. Why are you trying to get me in trouble? Yeah, huh? I heard it with my own 3 eyes. Wait, you got 3 eyes? Oh man, I only got 2, and they're not working so well right now. I have to go to the eye doctor this week. Man, lucky. Don't make me get the tomatoes, please. I'm not looking. I'm drawing. Yeah, hares are awesome. I have this thing to where it's like, I love rabbit motifs and like hares and all that, especially in like horror stuff. I think it's interesting. But people then go, oh, so then your favorite animal are rabbits. No, not really. And then people go, oh my god, you named yourself after Jax, the purple rabbit. And I'm like, no, look, I didn't. I like rabbits. Jax is okay, but I didn't name myself after that. No. I did like Withered Bonnie, though, from Five Nights at Freddy's. I did like that one. I can hear with my eyes. I'm pretty awesome, guys. I wish I could. Actually, no, my eyes would probably rupture. Flappy says, but Yuji is like those lot bunnies. Rufus is gonna cuddle her and she bites his nose. Can you... I do see her as those because she, like, stomps her feet and everything when she's mad. You know, those kind of things. Rhea asks, what's Rufus's favorite color? I think that was asked earlier and I accidentally skipped it. I am so sorry. Let's see. Yeah, you did. Okay, Rufus's favorite color? I wonder. Actually, Rufus is one of those, like, he probably doesn't even know what his favorite color is. He does like blue, but, like, he's not gonna be opposed to pink. He's not gonna be opposed to, like, orange, or, like, he's going to find colors that he just really likes in that time, living the moment. So, like, it's kind of a hard thing of, like, he doesn't even know. And if you told him, hey, your favorite color is neon green, okay, like, he has a lot of, like, soul searching he's got to do for himself, right? He likes Sai because his hair is blue. Probably. Gray, my eyes are bad. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. No, Rufus's outfit is blue. Pax, it's obviously green. Yeah, obviously green. I agree. He looked like a giant leprechaun. Nathan over on YouTube says, I once tried to make, sorry, when you type Yugi that way, my brain was thinking Yu-Gi-Oh! And I was like, Yugi? Yu-Gi-Oh! Sorry, so that's why, like, my brain was, like, short-circuiting. Yuji's voice in a specific scene, and my friend said I did the exact voice. Lamau, I just toned it a little bit lower, and he literally ran off for, how accurate it was. Nice! Pax says, reminds me of, nah, it's a purple meme. Don't bring out the black and blue and gold and white dress. Don't do that. Remember when that was just the controversy of the world? Put in these details just to erase them. Best part about him having pockets on his sleeves is I think he's too muscular to ever reach into them. Like, I think he has just too much muscle to actually be able to reach across his chest and get into him. So he probably doesn't even know what's in him. Hey, I thought Yuji was pronounced it like Yuji. Yes, it's just the way I have been kind of raised, because Yu-Gi-Oh! Was a huge thing when I was a kid, is that reads Yugi to me. And of course everybody calls Yuji with her spelling Uggy, and that's kind of why Sai calls her Uggy, because it's really funny. It's really funny to me. One of my board artists, she surprised me with that for the first time. She was like, and this is when Uggy comes in, and I died laughing, and I was like, okay, I gotta have Sai call her that, and then everybody kept calling her, like, Uggy. Everybody thinks it has, like, a hard G, and I think it's really funny. But yeah, no, it's just Yuji. Ray says, want to know a fact? Sure. Nathan also says, I can tell you for certain I struggled with copying her accent, because I just got so good at mimicking English accents, nobody can tell I'm Italian when I call them. Nice. Ray says, I found out that the word leprechaun is offensive. I think when you are... Because it technically is part of the Irish heritage and everything, and I have a lot of, like, Irish friends and everything, and it's just, it's part of the heritage. It's more of when you're trying to call somebody a leprechaun that it's more offensive and everything. And I believe you on the looking it up. I just know it is also a mythical creature that they have. So... Flappy says, wait until UG used the heart of the cards, and then Sierra Wa says, really? Nah. The problem is she's going to use the heart of the cards, and Sai's just going to use Pot of Greed over and over. It is a creature, but I don't want to go any more into it. Nathan says, if I ever add my OC, I'm pretty sure they teach Yuji and Sai Italian gestures to insult, for insults and anything just to make Rufus complain. He sounds hilarious when whining about stuff like a child. Yeah, Rufus does have a lot of tendencies to where he just starts to babble a lot of nonsense and such. I think I need to make her arms shorter. Rufus looks like your uncle? Nice. Yuji getting mad at the duel monsters has rules, and Sai's just like, nah, pot agreed times 4, yes. Mukta would make a very good, like, Pegasus kind of, Kaido kind of thing. But also, Sai would make him mad with nothing but pot agreed and him screaming, that's not the rules, you can't do that. That'd be really funny. Who was the founder of Sirawasa? A bunch of old rich people that thought, hey, we hate living on planets with poor people, so we want to make a planet that only has rich people. And then it got very popular, and then, lo and behold, guess what happened? The middle class were like, oh, we want to live there too, that seems nice, and they moved in. And the rich looked to the middle class and said, ew, who let the poor in? As they stare at the middle class. And so, yeah, that started causing issues. Nathan over on YouTube says, like, the moment would be, and this gesture means I don't give a, while showing Sai the gesture. Yeah. No, Sai would probably appreciate that. He does like being crude. It's a big HOA. You have no idea. It like started like an HOA, and then like they got upset that the middle class came in there, so then they started like taking things away from the middle class, which started causing people to like lose their jobs, which started making a poor class. And then the rich pointed at the poor and said, see, they're the reason why. And then, yeah. I wonder what that sounds like. Ray says I'm gonna be a tree and leaf. Alright, have a good one. I already started going to like Halloween stores that are popping up around here. So, starting to get in the spooky mood. I mean, when am I not? But shh. Look at these normal people with normal problems. Mm-hmm. And then you get entities and such. Nathan says, one day I will change my YouTube name because this is my old creepypasta face. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Hi, Chris. Welcome in. Regular ass people. Yeah. Now you're talking about the rich elites and founders of Sirawasa that were like, we want to make a planet for only rich people, and then the middle class showed up and they went, ew, poor people, ew. And then they caused problems. Not the middle class, the rich, of course, caused problems. Ugh. The pores. Yeah, but I'm just, I'm working on some assets for the website. Right now, it's just a bunch of it's gonna be like a bunch of transparent character poses for when you go to each page. That way you, like, when you switch pages and they change poses, you don't be like, am I still on the same page? Did it change? Flappy says, just bottle all those feelings up inside and ignore them. Yeah. Wow, it sounds like my childhood. That caused a lot of problems down the road doing that. Yeah, that's... Yay, millennials! Anyways, starts crying. Yeah. Everything's great! Yippee! I love living through all the apocalypses and crises. It's great. I offer participation awards. Yeah, we didn't ask for. Yay. Nathan over on YouTube says, the moment I know enough about the characters, I will write my first fanfic ever, because I'm desperate for anything of these characters. Starved for content. I wish there was a Rufus fanfic. Well, man, do I have the person for you? Points at Flaffy. Flaffy likes to write thought fanfic, or they were working on one. I cannot read fanfic. By legality, I cannot read your guys' fan fictions. I'm sure they're gonna be awesome, and I'm gonna read them all when I'm completely done with the series. But for now, for legality issues, I can't read your fanfics. But I highly do encourage you guys that you can, you know, go ahead and make fanfics and everything if you want, and just kind of share them among each other. But yeah, that is just my little PSA on that one. Chris writes Yoko fanfic and posts it to Only Freaks. You would. You would. Flaffy says, I was, but I took it down to redo it because I didn't like how it was written. That is so fair. That is so fair. Nathan says, what? Creators can't read fanfics until the series is over? That's not nice. Well, okay, so technically they could. Technically they could, but there's kind of a weird legal issue, and it's kind of to protect myself. Because imagine I read your fan fiction, and in your fan fiction, you're like, Rufus sits down and eats a tuna sandwich, and Glitch busts in through the door, and Rufus had left Tuna from making the tuna sandwich on the floor, so Glitch slips on it and decapitates himself. The end. Well, if I read that and my ending happened to be that ending just out of coincidence, there could be problems of, oh, well, you stole that from my fan fiction. So I have a rule for myself is I don't read people's fan fictions because, again, there are chances of, like, things being similar or people guessing things right. It's kind of a protection. That's the only reason I do, like, stand by that really tough. It's the same reason, like, you can't send your stories to people that are, like, working on a show and everything, because they won't read it. They will chunk it in the trash. Your scripts, any of that stuff, your ideas for like how to make plots better, they'll just chunk it in the trash because technically you could turn around and sue somebody for it. So Rufus eats a tuna sandwich. Write that down. But yeah, Flaffy, you do have lots of thought AUs and they're awesome. Bye Glitch. Yeah, that's sorry guys, spoilers. But like that's the thing. I'm not saying you're going to like turn around and sue me, but it's just a safety precaution that I stand by for myself, and I kind of tell other creators to kind of do the same, just because you don't want to have a chance, because what happens if you do have something that is similar? Well, at least I can be like, well, I've never read it. I don't read fan fiction. Everybody knows this. I state this all the time. So like, oops, coincidence, but like I don't read the stuff. Yep, thank goodness I will only write books then that will have an immediate ending. Yeah, that's a good way to, unless you have like a series, then you still gotta be careful. But yeah, again, that's just kind of like my safety tip to you guys. More than likely it's not going to happen, but like, it's just good to be on the cautious side, right? Flappy says, me writing Yuji, having a father-daughter dinner with Rufus and having a good night. Oh, you think I'm gonna give them a good night and any kind of good times? Oh, that's so cute. My bored little diva. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's not... Damn. Flaffy actually did get me. There is a moment where they do have a nice dinner, and then Rufus goes and tucks Yuji in. There is a moment like that. I lied. Yeah, damn. Flaffy got me on that one. They do actually have a moment like that. I forgot. I wrote that. How did I forget I wrote that? It's like actually like one of my favorite scenes I've written. Oh well. You guys will see when we get there. Don't do anything to Yuji. She suffered enough. You've literally killed her off in one story. Enough pain for Yuji. No promises. Who knows? You'll have to read and see what I do. Aw. I wish this temperature would go down, but you gotta get through September before the temperature starts to drop. Ugh, man, I could not speak. Water time. Alrighty. Alright. You're gonna make one of those the moment Yuji suffers? Oh. Well, I mean, I can't suffer any worse than I already do in life, so... Yeah! Bring it on. It'll be fun. Okay. I think that's a cute little place for that one. Which one do I want to do next? Yeah, let's just do it in order. Thanks, Rufus. I was just bragging about how I could draw you, and now I'm struggling. Don't think its face is long enough, that's why. One, the comic has to have a person with headphones in, and chaos is happening behind them. I mean, so far she's the only one that wears headphones, so maybe. Nathan says, question for you now. If uncomfortable, just say you don't want to answer. What is one thing you do not want to repeat now in the Heroes of Tomorrow that you have done in the past when working on the beginning of the Friend? I mean, in that case, it would be like, I guess putting myself on the front line. I just want to make a story. That one was, I was trying to be part of a whole community, and it stretched me really, really thin and exhausted me mentally. Trying to like reach out to a bunch of creators, and stuff just not working out when reaching out to creators. So I don't want to stretch myself thin. I mean, I still reach out to like indie creators here and there and some comic creators and everything, but like I was really, really an advocate for trying to bring that community together. I was trying to get the community together, and that kind of like stressed me out, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. So, yeah. So, but again, it's also because I was even like trying to talk to like Ed's World, and I'm not exactly happy with what they're doing with the stuff, but I'm not going to get into it. Best of luck. And to all my friends that work on the team and everything, I'm rooting for them. But like, it was a lot of marketing stuff. I was like in talks with them, and just like, again, I was like reaching out to a lot of people and just trying to build a community. It's too much. I just need to like focus on my own stuff, right? Yeah. It's you can't overextend your bandwidth, because there's only so much you have, and then especially when you're trying to like work on your own project. And it started becoming I wanted to tell my own story. I wanted, like, we saw how much people loved our OCs in that fan comic, and I was like, hey, there's actually something here with like the story of Yuji. Because again, Vlad was just, he's too perfect of a soldier to where it's like, oh yeah, he could automatically kill this person. That's not a fun story. And he would be a huge Debbie Downer. I mean, yeah, she's a bit of a Wednesday Addams, but like she's got a lot more layers to her than her father ever did. So, yeah, I think that's what I am doing differently, is knowing when to back off. And, like, not be trying to make it a whole community. Because, again, everybody's going to have different opinions on how to run things. And that's okay. So long as no one's getting hurt. Plus, I love having these goobers that are mine, and I don't have to follow any rules but my own. Yeah, you guys are good storytellers, but I could tell that the past comic kind of changed y'all in a particular square, if that makes sense. It did. We had to follow, because we did extensive research. Like, we read every single comic, we watched every single episode. I had a playlist where I found every single animation that was ever done. Even the ones... Actually, I made a playlist, but, like, of all the animations, even the ones that, like, got erased from parts of the internet. And that was a 12-hour-long playlist. And we would watch it and study it. We watched that thing, like, 5-6 times, studying it, making notes, connecting the dots. And that's exhausting to do when it's not even your own IP, right? Like, you don't even get to make the rules for it. You're trying to follow the rules of someone else's world. And so that was, like, very taxing on the brain, and especially when I'm trying to get through college and, like, others are, like, you know, trying to either get through college or, like, trying to find jobs. And then eventually, like, I didn't have college anymore. I couldn't just, like, sit around at school waiting for my next class drawing or lining comic pages and cleaning them up. And so, like, that's why, like, this one, it feels like it takes forever to get anything done for this. But I have to remember, I have a 9-to-5 now. I'm not a college student anymore. So yeah. Oh, hey! Go enjoy Spider-Man, Golden. Thanks for coming by. Always love having you. I hope you have fun. Nathan over on YouTube says, scenario, Vlad and Rufus get to talk through kind of a mirror AU thingy. One question, questions each for each other. What would they ask each other? That's a tough one, considering, but I appreciate it, Jax. Thanks. That's a tough one because, first of all, Vlad he understands English, he doesn't really speak English. He taught Yuji to speak English, but he does not really speak English. He taught her because he knew it would be important for her. He speaks, like, very, very little English. So him trying to ask Rufus questions would be very difficult. But he would not like Rufus at first, but he would appreciate Rufus. He would appreciate Rufus for actually giving Yuji a chance at a childhood, as opposed to what Vlad did, locking her away in a cabin in the woods to where she didn't get to see any other humans, for her safety. So, yeah. Yeah, Flaffy has an AU, so, like, you should hit Insomniac Flaffy up on that kind of stuff. They have, like, an AU kind of, comic, drawings, doodles. A lot of thoughts in that one. Not those thoughts. Different thoughts. His hair doesn't look like that. What am I doing? Okay. Speaking of that AU, I need to get back to it. Nathan says, so practically Vlad would ask about Yuji's current well-being. Would Rufus ask something like how to approach her better? I don't know if he would ask how to approach her better. I think Rufus would overthink what he wants to ask, and then he would kind of go into a moment of maybe she would be happier if I was gone and you got to live again, and then get a little sad on that. But yeah, Rufus kind of overthinks things. He's a broken little happy. 5 says, that's why I asked about the ghost thing on the server. Ah, I see. Yeah. I kind of figured it was probably for your AU, but yeah, in Thought itself, there aren't really any ghost things, because, again, there's other species and such, but, like, ghosts don't really work in this world. Have fun with the AU. I'm not saying don't do it, but, like, yeah, no, for Thought-wise, ghosts don't work. Like, I've looked at it, I've studied it, it does not work, because it tears down every other structure if I do that. Pack says, freaking Applebee's ad scared the heck out of me. My gosh. Yeah, but did you get Applebee's? Did you get us some Applebee's? Pax, if you're gonna go to Applebee's, you have to pick up Applebee's for everyone. I want chicken crispers and a freckled lemonade, Pax. Did you get Applebee's for everyone? I mean, come on. Nathan says, why does every bit of knowledge you share about Rufus make me want to squish and hug him? Because he has smiling syndrome, and I don't think smiling syndrome is talked about enough. But also, my story is a tragedy, and these characters are all tragic characters in one way or another. Y'all ain't getting anything, it's mine, Pax! Pax, how dare you, Pax? Where's my chicken crispers? Rude! I don't even think I like chicken crispers anymore, but like I used to like them as a kid. I don't go to Applebee's much anymore. Yeah, I should have his shoulder down, because otherwise he's blocking Miss Yoko. Rufus just wants to do right by people. He'd rather see them be happy over his own happiness. Alright, he doesn't have that. That's in the comic. Silly. See, I get his outfit mixed up, because I'm so used to drawing the other outfit. But after that, I shouldn't have to draw that outfit anymore. Yippee! The moment you might release a Roofy plushie one day, I will scream so loud you'll hear me from Italy. Take my mofo money. Welcome back. Roofy? Don't call him Roofy. I used to make jokes about that. Don't call him that. That's a bad name for him. Yeah, it would be fun to make plushes. I'm not super into the human plushes. I want to make, like, Zippy a plush, but, like, no, Flaffy. Flaffy, no, that's bad. But, like, I know lots of people are like, I want plushes of these characters. And I'm like, okay, cool. There's, like, 3 of you. That's not enough to warrant somebody. Yeah! Yeah! Don't say that, that's bad. I'll buy a whole stock of Psy plushies, because I'll he, and deserve all of them. Yeah. Again, I would want to make like a Zippy plushie, but again, I do understand why people would want like Rufus and Psy and Yuji. Yuji plushie gets a whole room and a cradle. Psy plushie, chuck at a wall lovingly. Yoko plushie, away from my bed. Rufus plushie, hug to sleep, feel safe. No, Flaffy! No! We're not soaking him in milk! Ugh. I get that joke all the time. Yeah, it's different now. So when's the new Thought album gonna drop? Yeah, I keep drawing them in those poses, don't I? Leave the side plushies alone. Not the milk plushie thing, oh my god. Never mind, don't release, no plushie, these guys are weirdos. You guys are funny. I'm also personally like a figurine person. I love figurines. I would love to have figurines, but like everybody seems to want plushes, and I'm like, plushes are so hard to make. Not to say figurines aren't hard to make, but oh my god. One day, if enough people care. That's the thing, right? Is not gonna get enough people, like, interested. I need you guys to be throwing thought at everybody and be like, hey, hello, good sir. Have you heard about my Lord and Savior, Yoko? Or Rufus? Sai is not the Lord and Savior. Don't give him that complex. Yeah, 3D figures are a lot more accessible thanks to 3D printers. Yeah, I do have a lot of 3D printers. The issue is I have to get the STL files of the characters to be able to print. And then once I have those, then yeah, I could be printing 3D prints of these characters. But I gotta like find somebody to make 3D models because I'm not strong in that. Yeah, put her in the anime poses. It's 3 a.m. for me now. I'm scared of this hour. That is the witching hour. You should go to bed. I appreciate you hanging out with us, Nathan, but you should get some sleep. Fine, I'll place my Sai plush upright. You're just gonna be cuddling him, and then in the morning you're gonna be like, ugh, and throw him. Chris says, you need to find someone, huh? I can look around. Yeah, that would be the thing, is I need to find somebody that's good at modeling and capturing the likeness of the characters in my style, and then able to make them into STL files. Because I have 3D printers. I can 3D print easily. I just need someone to make the models. The problem also, I have to make character sheets. Again, and we already know I'm doing that, so I gotta get that done. It's a lot, lots of things I gotta get done, right? Lemur feature. That sounds familiar. I wonder if I'm already talking to them. I'll have to go check him out again. He usually does furry stuff, though. Yeah, that's fair. Make them into mini Michael dolls. What are mini Michael dolls? What's that? I don't know what that is, Pax. Flappy says, hey, were you a depressed teen who can't connect with their peers? Well, here's oh my god, everybody started talking. Well, here's Yuji Soldat to relate to. Nathan says, never. I had a bad day and need Rufus content to sleep. If there will ever be one of those ASMR voices of Rufus, I will ascend. Please don't give his voice actor that power. I love Burn, but like, I would fear for you. Don't give Burn that power. Anyway, the ASMR would play out like this. He's trying to whisper quietly to you, trying to help you go to sleep. And you'd be like, okay, you're sleeping now. And then you hear him trying to walk away from the microphone and then start tripping over pots and pans. And then the smoke alarm starts going off and there's crashing and him trying to like quickly solve the problem as everybody in the house is waking up and being like, what the hell is happening, Rufus? And he's like, guys, shh, shh, they're sleeping over there, they're sleeping, shh. It's not gonna turn out great. Oh no, my metal pipes! Yeah. Clang, 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 clang. There's these Michael Jackson dolls everyone's going crazy over. Really? Okay, a 4-4 page of the drawing of Rufus messing up with a maintenance job. That would be funny. I should make a 4-4 page in case I ever get that error. He tripped over Yoko. Yeah. Pax says, sounds like my mom at 6 a.m. Yeah, isn't that the crazy thing? Is your mom will get so mad at you for like waking up and just like opening a drawer and just like, you're making so much noise. And then like, you're trying to sleep in, she starts the vacuum, she's playing like Aretha Franklin on the fucking stereo full blast, which I love her music, but not when I'm trying to fucking sleep. And then like banging pots and pans around, cleaning and vacuuming and cooking, and man, that was a childhood. My mom would then get mad at me because I would try to sleep through it. Sounds like Psy. Yeah. Stop making me laugh. If I wake up my brother, he'll chuck me out the balcony. That's not nice. My mom does it every weekend. It's either country music or Selena. Selena's good though. Blasting downstairs. I'll be waking up to Bitty Bitty Bum Bum! Ah! My brother isn't nice. He checked a teacher twice. That's not good. You should probably get that checked out. I love them so much, man. These losers. They are, but they're my losers. Who's that Pokemon? It's Glitch! Run! Ba, 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 ba. Your sketch is scratching an itch in my brain. Because it's chicken scratch. Word's hard. I get that. That's like me all the time. Nathan says, honestly though, I need Rufus in my life in ways I cannot express in words. If it would be a sound, it'd be more like a divine than whale sounds. Nice. Chris says, my buddy might be able to do 3D modeling too. I can ask if he's available for freelance work. Yeah. That would be great. Again, I don't have a lot of money to spare at the moment, but yeah, that would definitely be something nice to get done, because again, I just gotta get these characters, like, their turnarounds done, I gotta get the asset, there's not enough time in the day. You know this, I know this. Thumbs up. I always think of the WWE thumbs up, where it's a broken arm that, like, whips around. Read you loud and clear. Okay, Mr. Sassmaster. I am Mr. Sassmaster. You know who I need in my life? Ren. Yeah! Ren's great. I love Ren. I really am hoping that this story works out well enough so that I can kind of tell her side of things. Because again, I can't completely put every single character in the story and make it work. But I definitely want to have, like, her story, like a side story with her. And what she's doing behind the scenes and such. Let's see. The fact I know exact WWE game that GIF came from. Yeah, I worked at GameStop when that happened. I had somebody pull that up and they showed it to me while I was behind the counter and I died laughing. And I've been, like, using it since. I still don't know which one it is. I just remember they were so mad that the game had so many glitches, but they were like, this is, like, the funniest glitch, though. Ren gonna have her own video game to detain all the criminals, a la Cuphead style. That'd be kind of awesome. I would love to, like, have a few side video games, but again, there's no effing way I could do that, and if anything, I'll just make fake video games. But yeah. Nathan over on YouTube says, a prank for Sai to do is wax a sleeping Rufus. It'd be funny, but also not the attractive hair Rufus has. Okay, but which part is he waxing? Because that man's hairy. Like, we wax in his face, his locks, his chest, other areas. Like, this man's hairy. But yeah, that would be very cruel of Sai. 2K20. Yeah. I did see some of the glitches because I was working at GameStop during that time, so it did come from that one, yeah. Like, bad. Now, again, I had lots of customers complain to me because I had to sell those games to people, and then they came back mad at me like I'm the one who made the game. Alright, Flappy, go get some food. Thanks for coming by. We got about 15 more minutes of the stream. Full body wax. That would take so much effort, and Sai would get so bored halfway through. He'd have to have Rufus rip it off himself because Sai got bored. Here's the first one off. I'd only see choke Sai if he did that. Poor Rufus. Pack says, I actually still have a 2K20 just in case I need a laugh. What's the funniest glitch you've seen on that game? Needs to be bigger. Let's see. Nathan over on YouTube says, okay, but now I need a serious answer that will affect my fanfics. Is Rufus top or bottom? And is he a sub or a dom? I gotta know. He is a switch and he is a sub. Pack says, probably when frickin' Roman Reigns model was totally glitched out at one point. I was making a custom gear for him and his eyes and jaws were just like no face, nothing. Like they disappeared, so you're like staring at like the innards, or like were they like gone to open? What does that entail? His face was just completely gone. It was just floating eyes and a jaw. Spooky. That's really funny, though. this man having to hold up someone who weighs about as much as a car. And he's strong, but especially when she's just wiggling. Nathan says, honestly, I don't even know why I asked. Look at him. That man doesn't have a single dom bone in his body. I guess that's something I'm gonna have to, like, realize is people will draw, or write and draw spicy things, I suppose. That's funny. That's funny. Like, I already knew there would be, like, shipping and such, but, like, that's funny. Okay, but, like, how did Yoko end up stuck with them? Redacted. That will be shown in the series, so redacted. Ah, I see my motor skills are dying. That's what happens when you work a 8-hour shift and then come home to draw. Oh, look how happy she is. Nathan over on YouTube asked, okay, who exactly was the character that we sometimes see in official art just palming at Rufus? The one in the Alice in Wonderland drawing that was grabbing a handful of Rufus's thigh. That would be Lynn, one of the crime lords. So Rufus has 3 different love interests, and Lynn happens to be one of them. But Lynn is a crime lord. Like a big crime lord. There's like 4 different crime lords. You have Lynn, you have Big Reggie, you have Beck, and you have Blyde. And they are all in charge of different parts of Sirawasa and also in charge of different, criminal activities. But they are all controlled by Glitch. and under his orders. But Lynn does have a little bit of an interest in Rufus. How do you write that name at all? Which name? Lynn? Which name? A little bit. Like I said, he is a love interest to Rufus. There starts to be chemistry between the two. But again, Rufus has 3 different love interests. And none of his love interests are of the main thought group. She's got her little leggy. Chemistry or lust? One way is lust, the other way is chemistry. One looks at one way, and the other looks at the other way. Again, not everything is straightforward in my story. And it does explore toxic relationships and such. You wouldn't dare put Rufus in a toxic relationship. I refuse to think you would. Rufus is desperate for anyone to have him. And this wouldn't be the first time he's been in toxic relationships. So that's going to be kind of an exploration on that, and that's all I'm going to say on that. Alrighty, I'm gonna call it here. Technically got like a minute till we end, but got some nice sketches in, so yippee! Glad to see it. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. It really meant a lot. I wasn't even sure I was gonna stream today because I wasn't feeling the best. But it was still nice to be able to hang out with everyone. I really hope that you guys have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will catch you guys on Sunday. We'll be back to working on the comic. Again, we're just gonna switch it up of Sundays will be comics, and then Tuesday I'll be working on website assets as well as like character turnaround sheets when we eventually get back to that. But right now the website is my priority, as well as trying to get like the comic going. So again, I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. It means a lot to me, knowing that you guys care so much about my characters and you are interested and invested in the story and its ideas and themes and such. Like, I'm very, very excited for how the story's going to play out for you guys. So thank you so much for joining today. I will catch you on Sunday. Bye, guys!